Hi, my name is Catherine Daly, and this is my leadership presentation. First, let's look at my skills or traits that contribute toward my leadership style. The first skill is I listen and seek to understand by asking questions instead of just trying to be understood. Before I offer advice or answer, I want to truly understand what that person is saying. I've learned over the years that I learned so much more about a person by listening and asking good questions. So, for example, when a friend comes to me about a problem, I'm intentional about asking questions and just listening before I jump in with an idea of how I would handle the situation or offer a solution. The second skill is my ability to negotiate conflicts. Because I can negotiate conflicts between people and teams, I am able to help keep people on the same page and allow people to feel heard and understood. This in turn creates a positive environment in which people are comfortable voicing their opinions and they feel valued. So, for example, in college we had a conflict during a group project, and what it boiled down to was two of my group members were just not on the same page. I stepped in and essentially helped each of them understand where the other person was coming from. By offering some perspective and helping them communicate more effectively, we were eventually able to resolve the conflict. The third trait that contributes toward my leadership style is empathy. Before I say something to someone, I try to step into their shoes to gain an understanding on their thoughts, feelings, and perspectives. I always try to imagine how my words are going to leave that person feeling, because regardless of whether or not my intentions are honorable, I know people remember how I made them feel, so I try to stop and think about how I would be feeling if the roles were reversed. And I'm able to do so by first understanding their thoughts and feelings. So, what leadership style do I most identify with? I most identify with servant leadership. So, according to Nordhaus, servant leadership is an approach focusing on leadership from the point of view of the leader and his or her behaviors. Servant leadership emphasizes that leaders be attentive to the concerns of their followers, empathize with them, and nurture them. Servant leaders put followers first, empower them, and help them develop their full personal capacities. When I identify with this leadership style because when I am working with people, I place a high value on listening to others and being empathetic. I am very much aware that the things I say and do can impact others, so I strive to make positive impacts on those around me. I truly enjoy helping other people grow and empowering them. Traveling and immersing myself in different cultures has allowed me to foster awareness and empathy, and become intentional about putting myself in another person's shoes before I judge them or a decision they've made. Now, looking at a real-world example. When I was working as a kindergarten teacher in Thailand, I was asked to help tutor a couple of Thai college students at the Adventist university that was close by. These are pictures of the students I ended up working with. These girls were struggling with their English-speaking courses. Thai was their first language, and they were not doing as well as they would like to have been doing in their English courses. So I sat down with each one individually twice a week, and I helped them work through their homework. Through this process, I started asking them questions, I listened, and I was able to understand their needs, their abilities, and their personal goal, which was to become international flight attendants. And what this meant is that they had to pass a very rigorous oral and written English exam that was required of Thai flight attendants. I was honest with them about the work they had ahead, and then I helped them map out the steps they needed to take to reach this goal. I pointed out each of their individual strengths and made sure they knew how capable they were of achieving this goal, and I believe I left them feeling empowered. We formed a very close friendship, and to this day I still keep in touch with them. The girl you see in the picture on the left went on to become a flight attendant, so she did achieve her goal. And then the woman you see in the picture with the elephant on the right, she also went on and became a flight attendant, but she has recently decided she wants to pursue school and work in the United States. So I am currently helping her with the application process. They were both they are both thriving and fluent in English now. And actually, after I finished working with them and tutoring them, they both went on to start tutoring other students in English. So I was so proud of them and excited for them because I was able to help them grow, and they went on to help others grow. Now, looking at the strengths of servant leadership. One notable strength of servant leadership is that it emphasizes altruism and putting the care of others first. A second leadership style is strength of this leadership style is that servant leadership has the potential to create positive community and social change. An organization that has individuals who take care of each other become committed to developing an organization that cares for the community as a whole. Now, looking at the weaknesses of this leadership style, one weakness of servant leadership is that it is not an effective leadership style in contexts where followers are not really open to being guided, supported, and empowered. A second weakness of servant leadership is the minimization of authority. So, for example, employees may begin to see a manager with servant leadership style as less authoritative, and if a situation arose where the manager needed to step back into a dominant figure role, it would be difficult to do so. So now looking at taking on a different leadership role. When I reflect on my leadership style, I realize that the one environment that I tend to take on a different role is when I am with children. In these scenarios, my leadership style shifts to a transactional leadership style. According to Nordhaus, transactional leaders exchange things of value with followers to advance their own and their followers' agendas. I think of when I was a kindergarten teacher in Thailand, and there is something that needs to happen, such as finishing homework or helping clean up, and it is helpful to have a contingent reward, such as playtime outside or a favorite snack. So in general, when I'm taking care of kids who are younger, I found that a transactional leadership style is more effective than a servant leadership style. Here are some pictures of my students in Thailand. Now looking at my personal vision statement. My vision statement states that I am passionate about helping others and striving to grow as a person and professional, being present with people and finding balance between my family, school, work, and self-care, to inspire and empower patients to reach therapeutic goals and improve their quality of life, to be an advocate for occupational therapy and contribute to the development of the field through research and outreach. So my vision statement relates to my servant leadership style because the focus is on empowering and helping others grow while upholding my ethics and morals and creating value for the community through outreach and volunteer work. I believe I will achieve personal and professional growth through helping and caring for others. Now let's look at the long-term goals for reaching my leadership vision. So long-term goal number 1 is that within 3 years of clinical practice, I will become a fieldwork clinical instructor and supervise 2 occupational therapy students a year for their level 2 rotation to foster personal and professional growth. I've outlined 3 steps to be taken to help me reach this goal. And the first step is for me to reach out to my manager to let them know that I want to take students, I'm interested in having students, and then to participate in the Fieldwork Educator's Certificate Workshop as part of my continuing education. This workshop will help further develop my skills in the areas necessary to supervise fieldwork students. The second action step is to review all facility policies and procedures regarding fieldwork students so that I'm up to date and I'm aware of what's okay and not okay for the fieldwork students when I am mentoring them. The third action step is for me to plan learning opportunities for my fieldwork students, to think about questions they might ask me and make sure I know how to answer these questions and communicate them effectively. So for example, why did I choose this therapeutic activity? And is this treatment evidence-based? And so on. I think that asking myself these questions will help me prepare for when I have a fieldwork student. Looking at my long-term goal number 2. My long-term goal states that I will volunteer twice a month for 4 hours at a nonprofit organization that works with a vulnerable population to stay involved in outreach and to help and empower others. There are 3 action steps I've outlined to help me reach this long-term goal. The first is to research nonprofit organizations in the area and any areas I might be interested in moving to. The second action step is to create a volunteer resume to provide to the organizations I'm interested in. So this can show them the skill set that I have, basically what I have to offer. And then the third action step is for me to sit down and look at my schedule, identify 2 days a month that I can block out specifically for volunteer work. This way I can schedule that into my daily life and provide organizations with my availability. And that is the end of my presentation. Thank you so much for watching and have a wonderful day.